This is Patriot Sports Radio.
Patriot Sports Radio.
Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports, from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it. Like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. Here's Eric, John, Chris, and the coach.
Wake and Rake, dude. The only podcast with the balls to go live at 7:30 in the morning because we are the only ones who understand you. It's Sunday morning. We're awake. It's time to talk football. Too excited to sleep. That's just how we're wired. The chat is wide open for any questions you may have about, well, nobody's here yet, but I'll tell them again. We're gonna be fielding any and all questions you have that are football related in the chat feature here. Love interacting with the people. We got Angela here, who's also going to wear the weather girl hat this morning as we go around the league and learn about the various Ian effects. Chris is here as well, doing his thing, running the show. How's the production department, Chris? How we doing?
Good. Everything's rolling, trying to get it all shared out to social medias.
Beautiful. That's what that guy does. He just gets us out there. He's out there shaking hands, kissing babies all the time. All the time. Angela, how are you this morning?
Cheerio. I'm good.
Oh, I see what you did there. Right. Because there's a game in London, right?
Right. Is you have to do the end the sentence with a question mark and you're automatically British.
In it. You say in it at the end of stuff.
In it.
It's quite a game, isn't it?
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm doing
I
it
as long as it's not my team, and it will be my team soon enough. The Packers are playing in London this year. I'm not sure when. I should have that information, but I don't.
Those people are crazy hyper about it too. There's like banners everywhere and everybody's partying and
yeah,
they're stoked.
Like, what's weird to me, and I guess it's just sort of the thing because there's no actual teams claiming any territory over there. These NFL games, they have two teams. Like today we'll have the Saints and Vikings, and there will be jerseys from every NFL franchise in the building.
Right. Totally.
But I get it. They love football.
They do. That's cool. American football.
Jonah wants to know where the other two are. I'm not sure. They might be in bed. I know Coach wants Coach.
Wake their asses up. No, Coach is up in a tree stand right now.
Oh, he's hunting there. He's out there hunting there. He's got his real tree on. Hopefully it's not the red, white, and blue like Ole Miss. How did you see those Ole Miss helmets yesterday, Chris?
Yes.
No. They were like red, white, and blue real tree camo. Very interesting.
What did it look like? Was it off-putting?
No, I couldn't decide if I liked it or not.
It wasn't like the Bengals where when you saw it, you were like, oh, those are legit.
Yeah. I didn't expect to like those Bengals jerseys as much as I did.
They were hot. I
the
thought
orange,
totally cool.
That orange trim really made them sing, as the kids say. The kids don't say that makes it sing anymore. I don't think we even said that as kids. That's a black and white television thing. All right. Before we get totally off the tracks, we do have some. Well, what should we? Yeah, we should do weather first. Then we'll do Saints Vikings because that's what I've prepared to do. Sleep is no excuse, but hunting is. That's true, Jonah.
Yeah, well, the hunting used to be a sport. With the inflation today, with the meat prices, hunting is now a necessity. So.
You better learn how to do it if you don't know how. That's for sure. That's where we're going. You better learn how to field dress a deer.
And maybe grow some chickens.
Yep. Yeah, my attitude and motivation level when I get up at 3:30 for work as opposed to when I get up at 3:30 to go catch a fish or kill a deer are two very different vibes. All right, before we get all the way off the tracks into my personal life, NFL weather report week 4, wind, rain to impact Bears, Giants, Bills, Ravens, and more on Sunday. This is a great little article from PJ Walsh of the Action Network. Weather's been a massive story. He says there are 4 games that will be affected. Bears versus Giants. Giants minus 2.5. Over under only 39.5. 55 degrees and rain with 15 to 16 mile an hour winds. Bears versus Giants is one of a handful of week 4 games. Expecting wind and rain on Sunday afternoon. Angela, what is the What is the New York situation? Are they in the path of that hurricane? Is it going that far?
So
with the chances?
the hurricane. I don't know that you can say that the hurricane's gone that far. There's definitely weather up there. And what do we got?
With
Trying to see
the
here.
chance of rain hovering just north of 50%. Oh, it seems to be the wind situation. So what's wind gonna do? Justin Fields doesn't throw the football.
Right.
So that's not
He's gonna be concerned about that.
Nobody. His passing total is, I think, 148.5. People are pretty sure that's the lowest total ever at FanDuel Sportsbook for a starting quarterback. And this,
well, that's not successful. That's not as successful. 3 games, 4 games.
No.
Will says, "What's up?" He's going to be on in a minute. Also,
oh, cool.
Heather's in the house.
Hey, good morning, Heather.
Any fancy
Heather.
Comments? Oh, see, there we go. He'll hop on. Good morning. Hey, Heather, what are you making for breakfast? I need to know. She's a big breakfast person. I'm also a big breakfast person. I appreciate very much her breakfast posts.
I've seen some breakfast posts and they are labeled doing queen shit. I'm like, yep, that looks like queen shit.
That's what that is. Yep.
I thought we did a whole revolution thing though to try to get rid of that whole queen shit. Yeah, they're bringing it back.
Ooh.
I think she's doing a different version of it though. Making queens great again is what she's doing.
There you
nice.
go. Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's a good description.
I'll make hash browns and sausage and bacon and eggs and toast, but I don't have any gravy. So Chris says that's not a real breakfast.
Oh, my.
Oh.
What's your take on that, Angela? Gravy, country gravy.
Ooh. I don't know that it's a breakfast necessity, so that's
wow.
I'm very Midwest. I know. I almost didn't want to say it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this bullet. I'm gonna take the bullet.
Is corn a necessity? Here's the deal. Country gravy isn't a necessity, but a fucking Bloody Mary is. And that is Wisconsin versus Oklahoma.
Yep.
The Bloody Mary with all the shit in it.
That's
not my thing.
Hey. And they're homemade. That's all homemade. That's not like I make biscuits when I pop them out of the can.
Yep.
No,
she's rub it in, Heather.
That.
Do it.
Breakfast in a glass.
That's biscuits and gravy. That's the thing I'll get when I go out to breakfast, but it's not a thing I'll ever make at home.
Agreed. 100% true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all have been in the North too long. We have. I've been here my entire life.
And where I come from, biscuits and gravy is like corn pops. So that just comes with every breakfast. Like that's just available.
Right.
That's over here. You can have it if you want it. But here's the main course. That's biscuits and gravy. So when I moved up here, then I go to restaurants and I order it, and sometimes
it's probably not up to your standards.
It's fucking gravy I would put on my chicken. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Oh,
right. Yeah. Or potatoes.
I've never encountered that.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. And then they cook their bacon in a slow. Okay. On and on. It's fucking different.
Bills.
I love it when you get charged up about it. It's awesome.
Heather says gravy is required. Further south I've lived is Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I haven't gotten to gravy required territory, but I do enjoy some biscuits and gravy. Bills versus Ravens. Bills -3, total of 51. Another mid 50s. Definitely going to rain 76 to 79 anyway. 15-mile-an-hour winds. Anything under 20 doesn't really mess with the passing game so much. So I'm not very afraid of 15. 20-mile-an-hour sustained would cause me to want to take the under and kind of worry about our fantasy QB, Josh Allen. But I think this game's going to deliver. The weather forecast is very similar to that of Bears versus Giants. Likelihood of rain and wind. I mean, it's football. It's October. This is what we're doing. And then Jags, Eagles. Yeah, all just these Northeast games. And then Jets, Steelers too. The Steelers don't leave the East Coast this year. How did they pull that off? I think
it's crazy. That's an advantage.
Yeah, they're traveling like the fewest miles of all teams, if I recall. I don't know. We talked about it in the preseason.
So it'll rain there, right? I mean, it looks like overcast 53.
Yeah. I'm going to check out the injury report for this game because there's a lot of Buffalo Bills who are not 100%. But I think that game is mostly defensive players, right? Matt Milano, Micah Hyde. Like, these are things that lead you to high point totals. I'm starting Rashad Bateman in the old fantasy league today because I'm not favored to win, and I need a guy who's going to, get
either score 0 or 50.
Yes, 0 or 50. That's what we need. And we need the 50. Let's see. Gabe Davis is questionable again. I guess he re-aggravated his ankle at some point during this week. I pulled him out of my lineup. Dawson Knox, questionable. No information available. Yeah,
we got to kick off in a half an hour. Have you gone over that game first?
At Oliver, that's a good idea, Chris. You know what? That's why you're the brains of the operation. Let's talk about the game that's kicking off in 35 minutes rather than the one that's kicking off in 5 hours or 4 hours or whatever.
What up, Will?
Morning, Will.
Good morning, everyone. How are
I'm
we
going to ditch this weather window
Morning.
too. How are we doing? How's the baby? Is everybody, keeping their insides on the inside?
Oh, thankfully, yes, finally. Yeah, and the little one just woke up, of course, right now. So I was like, oh, well, we got to take care of that before we hop on,
Yep. We were just about to get into the Saints-Vikings game before it kicks off. Wow, the Saints 0-3 against the spread this year.
Yeah,
Minnesota 1-2.
That's because they hadn't had the red rifle out there yet, my boy.
Now they do. They do.
Mhm.
No Kamara,
Yeah.
no Mike Thomas, no Jameis.
Don't need him.
Landry's going to try to play. I
Don't
have a player prop on Traquan Smith because when a backup QB comes in, I like to try to find those guys that he's been practicing with, which are your lower end down the. So I think I got like 17-1 on just a standard like 4 for 75 and a touchdown. That's all we need from old Traquan. And I put $2 on Adam Troutman first touchdown because that's 50-1. It's Adam Troutman. I mean, there's no way he's not buddies with Dalton.
It's true. I like it. Yeah, no, I think the Saints, I mean, you can't feel good taking the Saints. I already bet them earlier in the week. I was expecting Jameis to be out, but not everyone else. But this is one of those games where, I mean, obviously it's strange because it's over in London, but it's the NFL and weird things happen all the time. Look at like a few weeks ago when Dak went out and Cooper Rush came in. No one gave him a chance, right? And now we got an NFL veteran. I know he's old, but he's a veteran. He's got one game left in him, right? I mean, there's a reason why he's a backup still.
You know how fired up he is to start an NFL game again?
That's what I've been trying to tell people. And so like in our pick'em leagues, I'm in a league with Heavy Steps and Zage, and they're like, oh, we got to switch over to Minnesota now. I'm like, everyone's going to pick Minnesota now. Why don't we gamble a little bit and take the Saints, I mean, hell, why not?
You are a huge Red Rifle supporter. I love it. As a ginger,
yeah.
we need more non-ginger support out there in the public.
Did you like him when he was at TCU? I mean, has this been a lifelong thing?
No, I just like supporting old guys that still. It's just I one of those things where I'm rooting for the guy. He's an underdog. I'm rooting for him.
Seems like a good dude. Wasn't there a donation situation when he broke his thumb and a bunch of Bills fans donated to his favorite charity?
Yes.
I'm vaguely remembering something like that. But overall, my feeling is he's a good dude. It's always risky to say that about a professional athlete, but I don't think Andy Dalton has any of those.
I haven't seen Andy Dalton in a pool exposing himself to everyone, so I think he's a pretty good dude.
Oh, wow. What a blow to my self-esteem last night. Hey, Blur guy, could you do a little better job? You're hurting feelings out here. Sheesh. I'm like, why does he have oh my goodness, that's not another person. It was like, so I was thinking every week we should do an AB 3-leg parlay.
Yes.
The third leg has to always be like shockingly.
A long
the odds
shot.
have to be shockingly big. Yes.
Like that.
I told you I came in with nothing written down. It was just a matter of minutes before I ended up.
Oh, dude, I'm looking it up right now.
All right, this Saints game. We've got some. Let's see, 3.7 sacks per game. The New Orleans defense gives up, but the New Orleans offense, the Minnesota defense can't really capitalize on something like that. What do you think Dalvin Cook does today? I think he's got some kind of contraption on his shoulder to make sure it doesn't dislocate again.
Hey, real quick, to go back to what we were just talking about, do we know a player in the NFL named Richard that we could get a player prop on to go over?
Richie James. Richie James could go over today.
James, baby.
Sorry. Okay. What
oh man, this is what happens when we're left to our own devices. Idle.
Like, oh god.
You know.
Like I don't want to say something I shouldn't say, or don't want to put my foot in my mouth this early. I don't know.
Well, this is wild.
I'm absorbing it all.
I'm looking at a score prediction for this game and for the Minnesota New Orleans game. They say it will end 21-21. So I don't know. Maybe we bet on the tie. See, you got to have a human in there.
Who says that? 21-21? Who says that?
Odds trader.
Really?
Because that's
based off the spread and the total. It's saying 22-18 Saints.
Weird. Well, that's in the predictions. Yeah, I don't know if this is an AI or a human saying that.
How pissed
that feels like something a computer would spit out.
Which is better, the AI or the human?
No weather impact. It's in a domed stadium. We got a Germany game this year, too. We got a couple weird international games.
I think we have 5 over there in Europe, right?
Yeah.
5 this year? Are they doing the Mexico City one again?
Yep. It went so well last time. Why not? And, things are great down there. Things are great as far as relations, as far as, I don't see anything that could impact or hinder.
Not worried about anyone coming back either,
No, certainly not. There's no trouble you could get into.
So we have Vikings -4. Is that what you like that? Where are we at on this game?
I'm on like Traquan Smith and Adam Troutman having a decent game. I'm not picking a side in this one. It's weird. I told Angela before we came on, I don't know if I said it while we were recording, but this is cool. If Kirk Cousins wins today, it'll be the first time he's entered week 4 over 500 in his career. Isn't that wild?
Oh, over 500.
You had to say it
500
twice.
a lot.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yep. No problem. So what should we do about Tennessee Indy? I saw people picking up Nyheim Hines. I saw Nyheim Hines tweeting that he doesn't care about your fantasy team. This team doesn't care about your fantasy team, etc. Both teams 1-2 against the spread. This one is Indy -3.5. We're on Tennessee +3.5 in our contest. And I like that pick a lot, which is probably a bad omen, right?
Probably.
We picked up Treylon Burks in the Trenches League because we're starting to believe that they have to get him involved. I mean, it's going to be Derrick Henry and Treylon Burks, I think, as the weather turns. I'm not sure how durable Robert Woods is anymore.
Yeah, a lot of those players. I mean, it is early in the season, but it's always a toss-up up there. Hey, real quick, Red Rifle, 4+ touchdowns today, +1360.
4. The way he said +1360 was like, can you believe that shit? Man?
He's gonna throw 7.
Giving us money like that.
I was gonna
throw 7.
I was gonna stop at 3, but that was just +440. Then I saw the big jump, and I go, "What's one more late touchdown, huh?"
Well, that's how they.
Is that the first half?
Yeah.
I mean, Kamara had 6 in one game, and he's a running back. Dalton could do it.
Oh man,
this Giants Bears game is good.
So what's your? Oh, well, I guess we talked about it yesterday, but we're going through player props. You still liking Tennessee today, though?
Yeah. Yeah, I have Treylon Burks to score a touchdown just on a hunch. I feel like it's time. They're talking about getting him more involved.
You think Henry finally kicks into gear? Let's look at his stuff.
It's it's becoming that time. The what you call the old books, they say that when the first snowflake hits the ground, that's when he starts to become the actual Derrick Henry who runs people over. His quads, like the Grinch's heart. When the first snow hits the ground, his quads grow 3 sizes, and it's at that point that you can no longer tackle him.
Yeah, I mean,
say he emerges from the woods.
His over-unders for rushing yards is only 72.5, which seems low for him historically.
I'll buy that.
Yeah. I mean, it takes one big run. I mean, let's see what some of the other ones are with him.
You know, it hurts when you don't have A.J. Brown out there.
Yeah.
It just gives them 1 or 2 more guys to hit Derrick in the mouth as they're gang tackling him.
And they didn't just lose A.J. Brown's statistics. They lost a level of toughness and a voice in the locker room. You know, he's just a dude, you know, as the kids call them, dogs. Everybody's a dog now. We've gone from goats to dogs. Everybody's dogs. But A.J. Brown is basically the standard definition of what you would call one of those dogs. And I don't think any team that trades him would be the same after.
No, because he blocks you in the mouth when he blocks you.
Well,
it hurts.
They also lost Julio too, right? I mean, that's
what they're saying about DeAndre Hopkins too. That's why the Cardinals' run game is struggling, because he blocks so well in the run game. Indy is orange. What does that mean about their pass defense? I don't know. I know that means it's kind of difficult.
Oh, yes. I would trade Hunter Henry. Listen, I have both on my fantasy team, and I've been starting Hunter Henry, and Patriots usually go to Hunter Henry. I don't know what's going on with him this year, but N'Goku, he got that new contract, and I always worry about people getting new contracts, but he is playing lights out. And I know I'm not overreacting to last game. I think in this system, at least until Watson gets back, it seems like he's going to play a vital role. They got him in the slot. They got him moving all around. He is a good blocker, but he also just is a quick outlet, a little drag over the middle. So I would definitely make that trade.
Yeah, and throughout his career, Jacoby Brissett has targeted the tight end a lot.
I was just gonna say he makes him. He can make a tight end special.
Yeah, I mean
Njoku is special. He's a big dude.
Who's the guy in Indy? I already forgot his name. That's how good he is. Doyle. He made Doyle relevant because he just hyper targets the guy. Yeah, I like Njoku a lot. I think Njoku has a big game today, so this might be your last chance to get him for as cheap as Hunter Henry.
Hey, you know what's crazy? It's greater odds that Derrick Henry gets 3 touchdowns than the Red Rifle throws 4. Derrick Henry 3 touchdowns plus 2,100.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Man, if we just had that Michael J. Fox Back to the Future book.
Oh man,
we'd be so legit.
We'd be in great shape then. We would be in excellent shape then. Already did it. Look at Heather. She's a woman of action. She's over there. She's stirring gravy with one hand, just winning trades with the other. It's
doing queen shit.
Yeah. It's wild.
A whole lot of winning going on over there today.
I would say. That's another thing the kids say. W. You know what my daughter told me? Hang on.
Oh, we have to take a drink.
She told me that if they like a teacher, they call the teacher a W, and if they don't like the teacher, they call the teacher an L. Like, we got to stop with the laziness in the language. We can't just start using letters like they're words now.
I mean, you got to be a little more creative than that, too. Huh?
Yes. The creativity level.
I mean, if someone called me an L, if I heard someone whispering and like, "Oh, he's such an L," I'd be like, "Wait, what?" I'd know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm a fucking legend, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, but if they said some weird thing that the kids say nowadays, some new lingo, I'd be like, "Okay, cool, boomer."
Yeah,
got it.
Oh my goodness, so much football. I'm excited. The data's starting to come in. We're starting to actually, I think the Jags are good. I think the Eagles are much better, but the Jags could win this division, don't you think? The AFC South.
I bet him this year or this week.
The AFC South is playing better than the AFC West. It's crazy. Wow, all of the staff picks on Action Network are on the Jags today. That's alarming. Why hasn't the line moved then? From 6.5. Well, it's still fairly split. Travis Etienne's receiving yards are set at like 18, 17.5, something. It's in my blog, patriotsportsnow.com. Go find that week 4 player props. That's just an insulting number. He's at 18 and then over 30 the last 2 weeks. JD McKissick is 20 something too.
Especially if you think the Eagles defense is going to get pressure. I mean, that would benefit his receiving yards because he would be the outlet.
Yeah, and I think a big reason of why Lawrence looks so much better this season is because he's playing on time. He's taking his 3-step drops and he's getting rid of the ball when it's supposed to be gone. And they'll just adjust to, okay, now get rid of it in 2 seconds, which means dump it off to whatever single digits. These single digits are messing me up, especially the defensive ends who have single digits. That just seems wrong to me. Have a number in the 90s. What are we doing? That's an old man take I'm going to be stuck on forever. People will be like, what do you mean? They won't even remember when numbers were assigned. Well, not assigned, but you had to choose. Like if you were a linebacker, you had to be in the 50s. That was basically it.
They're
Clay
going to get rid of
Matthews
numbers.
just retired.
What? He was still in the league?
Yeah, I thought he'd retired already. He officially retired a few days ago. So thanks, Clay Matthews. He was awesome. He was awesome up here, and we got rid of him just in time. We played that one perfect.
Not like the Jordan Love trade.
Not like the Jordan Love trade. No. We could have got one of those really, really, really good receivers, but instead we said, nah. We don't. That would be too easy. We can't give Aaron Rodgers somebody like that, but I digress. What other games do we have weather in the Philly game, right?
A little windy.
A little bit wind. No big deal.
61, overcast.
Okay. Oh, football weather. Drop that by 20 more degrees and you got a beautiful day. That what John Madden called good hitting weather.
What's the Green Bay or what's the weather going to be like in Green Bay?
I think just your standard dreary, I don't know. Angela probably knows.
The weather's never a factor for the Packers in Green Bay. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's just for the opposing team, right?
Bill Belichick brings the storm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 59-ish and not sunny, but
we want Devontae Smith to just catch 567 touchdowns today from.
Correct.
That would be excellent for our fantasy football day.
Yes, it would.
Did you guys see that the week that I just finally pick against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they announced that Godwin and Julio is going to play, and it's going to stay in Tampa after a hurricane? Just feels like he's going to be the eye of the storm in this game, and it's just going to get crazy.
He's going to be the eye of the storm. I love it. Boy, Chris, I tell you what, if the Buccaneers win and the Arizona Cardinals lose, we're going to be in trouble next week.
I don't believe in the Buccaneers right now. I don't believe in the Cardinals either. Just this one game.
Just this, yeah. Let me get on record. Overall, you can file me as a Cardinals hater, but
yeah, you can file me as Cliff Kingsbury socks. I'm in the dresser.
Well, hey, now you can use the Chiefs to +7 since they're +1 now. So interesting thing. I was listening to the guys over at pregame this week. If you're into people out there are into teasers, so everyone always wants to get through 3 and get through 7. Actually, nowadays 7's not as valuable as it used to be. The reason is teams that are down late, down 2 scores, they always go for 2. So you have that factor of 8 and 6.
Oh
now.
yeah.
So they say it's actually more valuable to get to 8 or 8.5 than it is to get through 7 to cover yourself in case your team is down in that situation.
Yeah, because a team will often they'll go for 2 to try to catch up, but they'll also go for 2 to try to put the game out of reach. So you might need that extra 1.5.
Well, how many times have you been there and you're like, okay, I got 7.5 with this team. Yes, they scored a touchdown. Now they're only going to be down there's like a few minutes left in the game, and it's gonna be like, now they're only going to be down 7. I have the hook. I'm going to win. And all of a sudden they're like, analytics say we go for 2, and then they go for 2 and they fail, and then you're cursing at the TV because you missed it by a hook. Right?
Yep. The hook that was supposed to come down and save you instead just punctured your chest cavity
like a salmon.
Yeah, like a salmon. Before I forget, we got to nail down our survivor pick. Will, who are you taking this week?
Oh, I'm already done. I picked Cincy.
That's
did we get a text?
You went Thursday night for your survivor pick?
That's how confident I felt in it.
Anything can happen on Thursday.
Now I'm rooting for all kinds of I'm rooting for all kinds of upsets today. I want some craziness. There's only 1,200 people left in my pool. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah, they've been Derek Stevens at the Circa is offering a free room and a day bed down at the Giant Stadium swim pool they got for everybody who's been knocked out, because they're down to 25%.
Yeah, everyone. It was a crazy few weeks.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one winner this week without the points. Even the 6.5 point favorites are kind of questionable, and we already used the Packers.
I think a lot. I mean, the Packers are the number 1 favorite, so I mean, if they get upset, that'd be. You got to look at least 50%. At 50% of pools that are left, right?
They would become survivor puddles. You see what I did there? Because a puddle is smaller than a pool.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm still a dad. Nelly painted me something awesome. I forgot to bring the painting, but I will, and you will all see it. You'll all look at it. You
feeling better?
A little bit, yeah, incrementally. There were times yesterday where she was pretty much good for an hour or two. All of a sudden she's like, let's paint. And she got out we used the old twister mat for a drop cloth, and then we just paint stuff. But then brilliant. And then she had the Kleenexes shoved in her nose, and she was on the recliner like, oh, I hate sick. So it's back and forth. Just kept giving her water and popsicles. Those no sugar added popsicles are great, because you can just open the box and be like, eat all 20. I don't give a shit. It's 20 grams of sugar if you eat the entire box. So we're good.
It's like one soda.
All right, so we're gonna pick.
Oh yeah, we're talking.
Hang on. Let's talk about Cardinals. All right, are we gonna take Cardinals in their survivor pick? Is this the week?
It's kind of a lot to that pick.
It's a fucking pick 'em right now.
Cardinals or Browns? I'm thinking Cordero Patterson is like a game time decision.
Yeah. So either one. I don't care. So
I mean, this might be your guys' best chance this year
Cardinals.
to take the Saints.
Oh. Why are you doing that
backup
to me?
Quarterback, overseas underdog. You're
Jesus
crazy.
Christ. No Thomas, no Kamara, no fucking anybody.
Nobody you've ever heard of.
No one will expect.
And here comes Will kicking the fucking door open with the Red Rifles playing today, baby. I'm all in.
He's back.
Jesus.
I can't wait for them to win. I'm gonna get on. I'm just gonna go live on my own channel today and just start hooting and hollering. I'm gonna play this clip too.
All the way back. All right, we've used
take that, Chicago.
All right.
Let's see.
Too bad I can't just select the Bengals now. Ooh, what about Eagles?
I don't. That's the Jags.
Eagles at home against the Jags.
Yeah, but the Eagles are pretty good. We don't need to spend them this week. I think we could take Cleveland or either way. I know you're just trying to get to next week.
Yeah, this is all.
We don't want to bird hole ourselves.
It's only like a 5-person survivor pool, and it's just us and
it is
left.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We just got to beat Moonoff.
Okay, take the Eagles.
I don't know. I think Cleveland better. Eagles scare me a little bit, but you do have Jacksonville. I liked them at the beginning of the week, but the fact that they traveled across country last week, got a win that they weren't supposed to get. Now they got to travel up to Philly. That goes in your favor, but it's just one of those things that Jacksonville's playing really good, and I know Philly is too. But Jacksonville's just and they seem to be in the zone right now. One of those teams that just wants to just keep shocking people. Like when you see an NFL team go like the Ravens with
Like
the
when the
Falcons
Green Bay
or whatever.
Packers went from a 6 seed all the way to the Super Bowl victory with 15 guys on IR. Yep.
Yeah, something like that. They just get in a zone, and it just happens to be earlier in the season than in the playoffs right now. So
then let's take. I like Cleveland.
I think Cleveland's going to
and
dominate.
I like the Cardinals.
I think
I think Cleveland's just going to ground and pound them, and Drake London will get a couple. Hopefully, Kyle Pitts has a game. Okay, your pick has been saved. Cleveland Browns. Final answer. Ha ha! Worst of luck to you, Moonoff. He's not even awake yet, so that didn't hurt his feelings. What a great guy, though.
He was so nice to you. Yeah, you were like singing his praises, like, "Oh, he's awesome, so good." Like,
he knows I'm kidding.
Late. Like, he's the best. And now you're like, die.
Just for this one particular scenario.
We are on the field of play with him.
Yep.
So
between the white lines
mercy.
now.
Right.
Yep.
No mercy.
Yeah, but after
Cobra
that,
Kai.
it's like, hey, dude, could you come on the podcast and teach us about gambling? You're so cool. That's after. Then we do the jersey swap.
Right. I was just looking at my fantasy lineup, and it looks like Swift is maybe out through week 6.
Yep, they're gonna sit him through the bye week. Me and Chris got Jamal Williams on our trenches team, which is saving our ass right now. Boy, have you seen that that intro for he's got some little web show called Jamal That. I think it's just a talk show with him.
Jamal That.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's such a unique individual. I really miss having him on the Packers. He's just the kind of guy that interacts with everybody great. He's great in the community, always smiling.
I'm going to check that
dancing out. For any time there's a reason to dance. The guys dance.
What do we got? What's our next game?
Our next game is, well, we touched on Tennessee, Indy. Should we talk about this Giants Chicago game for a second? This one's going to be ugly. Do you think Justin Fields throws for 149 yards? Yikes. I mean, that's really the question. The Giants 2-1 against the spread. Chicago 1-1. They gave you a push there at some point. Giants are scoring 18.7 points a game. Chicago's allowing 17.3 versus Chicago's offense is scoring 6.7 in the first half. I mean, I guess we like unders here. Neither team is scoring 10 points in the first half on average. The weather's going to be gross.
Mm-hmm.
Does a guy bet something crazy like no touchdowns scored 100-1? That's usually 100-1. Maybe this is a 12-9 football game we're looking at right here. Nah, Saquon Barkley and Khalil Herbert will get one. Saquon Barkley is all the way back. I feel pretty good about that.
I took him in all my fantasy leagues.
That's the prediction I'm going to talk about rather than the one where I said Marquez Valdez-Scantling was going to score more touchdowns than Tyreek Hill. I don't see that happening unless there's a real injury situation and a role reversal in Kansas City. Like, we need a couple miracles for that to happen.
We've got to learn how to catch too. Is he doing that yet?
No, he's still rocking like a 52% catch percentage.
That's just not very good because he plays wide receiver.
And they're not using him like we used him. They're not using him for like the 9-route guy. They're trying to make him run routes and do stuff.
We used him only in key game situations where we knew we needed to lose that game.
Yes. So this game's just going to be ugly, I think. Let's talk about Buffalo and Baltimore, which we did a little bit also.
Can I ask a fantasy question before we get into that game?
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm very fortunate. I got 3 great running backs I'm looking at here. I got Chubb, Barkley, and McCaffrey.
Nice.
Damn.
Now, I've moved McCaffrey to my flex because he's going to be a game time decision.
Yeah.
So
he barely practiced.
Let's say he doesn't suit up and play. If he plays, I'm just going to roll with him. I'm going to screw it. It's McCaffrey. He's good enough to be out there. Who knows what he's going to do?
Yeah.
If not, this is a flex position. Do I play Etne, Mike Williams, or Juju?
I'd say you're down to Etienne or Mike Williams there. They say Herbert's going to play. It's a game time decision whether or not he'll take the pain shot, but he's off the injury report reportedly. So he must have made real strides this week.
He practiced week 2.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm thinking Mike. Because he's
I
a
mean,
big
they're-
play. It's like boom or bust with him, right? That's what you want
Yeah.
from your flex.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Houston defense. They're allowing 207.7 passing yards per game. Yeah, they look like a pretty average defense, the kind of people Mike Williams could really take advantage of. I mean, the guy's gigantic. Justin Herbert, nothing about his injury. No. I'm going to look at Houston and see what their cornerbacks look like. See how big these dudes are. Wide receivers. Oh,
I hate that.
gotta
I got Christian McCaffrey playing at 305 and all my pivots on the bench are noon games. So it's like make a decision.
Oh, that's the worst. There's only a couple late games today. There's the Packers.
Shoot, that means I'm gonna have to make the decision beforehand. Damn it, right?
Yep. We got Arizona, Carolina at 4:05 Eastern, and then Denver, Las Vegas at 4:25, New England, Green Bay at the same time, and then Kansas City at Tampa tonight. Boy, I'm gonna be tired tomorrow because I'm gonna have to stay up and watch that whole game. And I can't take a nap today because there's so much football to watch. Can't sleep through football. This is a finite resource. I mean, there's only 17 games, so you can't just sleep through them. Although, you know, Arizona, Carolina first half might be a window. That might be where you take your nap right there. A nice 20-minute
They've done
power
a good job this season with the primetime games, like all around. I mean, even tonight, look at tonight, we got Tampa, Kansas City, and then tomorrow we got San Francisco Rams. Thursday night football ended up being a really good game. Thursday night football, they actually had good matchups.
Yeah. Surprisingly so. Oh, it says big money on Houston. Well, there's a large bet on Houston. That's what it is, because it's not a percentage thing. The money's 49.51 in favor of Houston. Austin Eckler's rushing yards is set at, I saw 55.5 on Sleeper and 60.5 on my bookie. I like both of those. I think this is the week he finally gets some rushing yards. You know, Austin Eckler has yet to outgain a roll of floss, customarily 48 yards. He has not eclipsed that mark yet.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I think that's total yard. No, because he's gotten 7 or 8 receptions. Shouse in the house wants to know, does she play Herbert or Mahomes this week? What do you think, Will? That Tampa pass defense is pretty good, and Herbert's technically off the injury list.
I know, it's so tough because I have the same scenario that I'm going through right now. I got them both, and I'm like, who do I play? Because Mahomes, that Tampa's defense, that's the one thing that looks great, and it looks as good as the defense that played Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and it's Todd Bowles scheming up the same thing. Worked really well. So there's a higher risk that KC comes out looking a little bit flat, whereas you have Herbert, and how healthy is he? Now, he did practice all week, and he played last week. You got to think with Herbert going up against Houston, it's probably the safer bet to do that than thinking that Mahomes is just going to embarrass this Tampa Bay defense. I mean, even look last week, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers started off great with it, and then it they finally kicked it into the gear. It's like they woke up, and then they were able to granted there were some fumbles here and there in the game, but they were able to kind of contain Rodgers after that, at least that offense, from any big plays.
Yeah.
So I'm playing Mahomes in that situation because I'm not that rib cartilage is bad. He may play for sure, but he's one hit away from not playing.
Yeah. You're one shot from out of the game. And I feel like we have to get this one right because last week we told her to sit Devin Singletary and he had the game of his life. That was not supposed to happen. That never happens. I saw that on Red Zone. He kept popping up and I was like, son of a bitch. Again, this guy. I'm like, Heather's going to kill us. Ain't no
I got a tough flex question for you. Damian Pierce, Melvin Gordon, Tyler Lockett, Julio Jones.
Ooh, Tyler Lockett's been surprisingly good this season. Nobody's talking about it, but he's He's gone over 75 yards the last couple weeks. 7, 8, 9 receptions. So Geno's looking for him. The touchdowns.
9 catches a game.
So they got Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Who's banged up.
They have a good cornerback, Okuda. He's really good, but he's probably going to be on Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
So that funnels targets to Lockett, I think.
I think so too. And I think if Detroit gets up early, I mean, you're just going to see Seattle playing catch up, right?
Yep.
I think, I have Dameon Pierce in there now, but I think you're right. I think Lockett's the case. I want to play Julio just because I want to see Julio go off, and I'm going to be kicking myself the time that he does go off and he's on my bench, but who knows how healthy he is.
Yeah, Julio's not one of those guys that you can say, well, I'm going to wait until I see it, because you'll see it, and then the next week it won't be there. But then the week after it will.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna build a contest right here in our over-under squad. Go join us on sleeper.com, Patriot Squad Radio. We're in there picking over-unders, talking about
just a quick fun fact that what were we talking about? Herbert and Mahomes. Tampa Bay is 18th in the league on points to wide receivers. So they're averaging, they're giving up 21.3 points a game to wide receivers, Tampa Bay, on average.
They're giving up what?
21.3 a game to wide receivers.
Yards? Sorry, I missed that.
Points, fantasy points.
Oh.
They're 18th in the league on defense against fantasy point wide receivers.
Tampa Bay?
Yes.
Huh, that must just be yards and catches, because they haven't given up many touchdowns.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot of PPR stuff.
And Kansas City Chiefs is 20. So this could go back and forth. This could be a wide receiver game.
I wish I could take.
I'm starting Mahomes here.
Heavy Steps is so mad at me right now because we actually went with the Saints in our pick 'em, and he's telling me how awful a pick this is, and that the Red Rifle sucks.
He's right though. That's what sucks. Heavy Steps is right.
Yeah, but hey, now we're the underdog now.
Yeah.
So a victory here it feels even extra sweet. Who wants to take the easy win? It's like no. It's like you don't want to take a 5-leg parlay that pays plus 150 because you took a bunch of favorites. No, you want that.
Yeah,
I'm going to turn this I want this $5 to turn into 2,500, and we're going to go to Applebee's for happy hour, huh?
We're gonna go to Applebee's. Hey, how many receptions per game is Ramondre Stevenson getting? His line is 2.5. That feels low, but we got Hoyer. I don't know if Hoyer throws to the running backs.
Any new quarterback coming in is going to throw to the running backs.
Yeah,
especially if they're getting pressured.
What do you think about 15.5 receiving yards or 64.5 total yards? I think Stevenson is going to be one of their main weapons today.
I can see a lot of screens.
Yep, I'm going receiving yards.
Well, that Green Bay defense. What works well against that defense? Because whatever works well against that defense is what Belichick's going to try to exploit.
Yep, the middle of the field and the short side. It's good thing Brian Hoyer can't run. That's one of our main Achilles heels. I'm gonna take over 15.5 receiving yards because he could get that on 2 receptions, and then we don't even have to hit the over. Okay. And then what else do we like? What else were we talking about? We were talking about Houston and the Chargers. Do we like anything in that game? Herbert, half interception. He could throw a pick today. His passing yards are only 272.5. Yeah, so we're not totally believing in him yet. And I'm going to add Eckler's rushing yards. Okay, so 4 to win 10 times our money. We're going to go Tyler Lockett over 66.5 receiving yards. Austin Eckler over 56.5 rushing yards. Travis Etienne over 17.5 receiving yards. And Ramondre Stevenson over 15.5 receiving yards. And what do we got in the account? $25. We will put $5. Review. Look at that. And that's how you turn $5 into $50.
They need to quit taking these London games and putting them on NFL Network. They need to put it on something to where we can all see. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
It's a standalone. We're trying to, international audience. We're trying to bond together, and they want to block us and put us on the NFL Network. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's already claimed Thursday Night Football. I don't know how people are doing with that.
Oh, you know what sucks about that is usually, so I close at work on Thursday nights, and for about the little less than the first half of the game, I have it on at work. And well, now I have to have it on my phone. I mean, I guess I could log in with the TV there, but I don't really want to do that at work with my Prime account. But I need to tell my boss, hey, you need to sign in with your Prime account so we can watch it on the TV.
Yeah, we can't be depriving ourselves of football in here.
I'll tell you what, I do put my phone up like this, so and I kind of put my hands on my keyboard. It looks like I'm really working hard. 5:30 Thursday nights.
Heavy Steps, we've tried to tell him that he's a little crazy. I'm not sure Minnesota's gonna. Well, I think they're gonna win that game, but Will is bound and determined to back the Red Rifle today. There's nothing any of us can do about that. What do you think happens in this Denver-Las Vegas game in the Big Black Roomba in Vegas? Raiders still winless. What do you think the conversation was between Mark Davis and Coach Josh McDaniel immediately after the game last week?
Belichick was right.
You're just another dead branch hanging off of this coaching tree, aren't you?
Oh, look at that. Look at the screen there. That's so funny.
Usually when Will is bound and determined, that's not a good thing. New England and Tampa bets. Well, yeah. He's got loyalties, don't we all? It's just Heather says the worst thing about Thursday Night Football is trying to teach all the boomers how to get Prime and the game on their televisions. Yeah. We were on with the Fantasy Football Hustler, I think the first night it was on, and Crispy couldn't figure it out. And we had to sort of guide him through getting it on his smart television. If you have a smart TV, you can really just pull up Amazon Prime, and it'll tell you to go to Amazon/TV or whatever on your phone or laptop. You go in there, you get your little code, punch it in, and boom, pops up on your screen. Or there'll be a screen share option. Ask your kids.
How many boomers realize you can watch a game on your phone?
Yeah, like, hang on. Do I buy the game on Amazon and they bring it here? Is that same day? Or because people are going to be talking about it at work tomorrow. Is that same day?
And speaking of which, I was just bashing on the NFL for this, but actually on the NFL app that, that NFL, whatever they want you to NFL Plus or whatever, they actually have the game on there. So I take it back.
Oh shit! It's 8:30. That game has begun.
Yeah,
that's right.
And Minnesota took the ball. They didn't want to give it to the Red Rifle right away.
Well, you let me know if Adam Troutman scores the first touchdown, and we'll have ourselves a dance party over here.
I was thinking about betting it, but I didn't get in time. Saints to score the first touchdown. The Saints defense.
Oh, that's not a bad pick.
They had that war against Tampa, and then they came out a little flat last week. But that defense is solid.
I'd say that's almost a guarantee to hit then, because I looked at it too, and I was like, wow, 38-1? That's wild. Yeah, they could. Yep, now it'll happen. Bets. You ever look at a bet and seriously consider it, but then don't bet it, and then when it hits, you're just furious with yourself?
I just say, you're welcome, everyone, because if I would have bet it, it wouldn't have hit.
Yep.
So all those of you that took it, you're welcome.
Yep.
Hey, did you see what Heavy Step said here? Usually when Will is bound and determined, that's not a good thing. See New England and Tampa Bay bets in 2022.
When would you ever want to bet against those two teams?
Ooh, Dalvin Cook trotting off the field already on 2nd and 8. Interesting. You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see old Ty Chandler get involved a little bit, just so I can be right about Ty Chandler. I'll say, who else was talking about Ty Chandler besides me and Paul Charchian?
Hey, they don't ever ding you guys on here for that? It's considered too small, I guess, for having the game on in the background.
I think so. Or this isn't a
kind of blurry and stuff.
It was an accident. I didn't mean to.
Whoops. This isn't a realistic way to. I don't know. I think if you're not showing a $50 UFC fight, the NFL is pretty
NFL and YouTube. I mean, it's
might be a thing.
The worst thing, they'll just give you a little warning.
Yeah,
copyright strike.
We're the bad boys of. We're the early morning. We're the bad boys of early morning podcasting. That's what we are. We could use a couple letters, a couple threats from some corporations.
Jefferson is coming out on fire.
Build up your street cred, right?
All week, people said how Lattimore was going to hold him down. I figured he was working on some stuff.
He's been going up against the linebackers because he's scared.
Yeah. O'Connell did that a lot in Los Angeles too. He just figured out how to scheme up Cooper Kupp on a linebacker. I don't know how he does it all the time, but he's doing it with Jefferson too. I wish he'd take some of that magic dust and sprinkle it on Adam Thielen a little bit. I mean, Justin Jefferson's getting a lot of the shine. Thielen scored a touchdown last week, though. That was nice. Probably helped old Angela's fantasy team.
It did, but I want more. Typical, right?
Typical woman.
Typical. It's not. Yeah. So hopefully this week.
It's never good enough. Free men don't need permission. That's true, Heather. Oh, you have a great day too, Heather. Save us some biscuits. Or freeze.
Bye, Heather.
Flash freeze them. Mail them up here. I don't know if you could do that with biscuits and gravy. Probably not.
Wouldn't they die? Wouldn't they taste weird?
They would. Wouldn't they die? Yes. They wouldn't have the same heart and soul in them. I don't know. I think maybe Denver comes out with a win today. Russell Wilson gets his act together a little bit. He's starting to get some timing with Cortland Sutton. I don't know. It's
bound to happen, right?
It's looking like a failed experiment, a broken clock that's going to be right twice a day. They'll just eke out 6 or 7 wins just because they're the Broncos and it snows up there. All right, so we've got the Browns locked in as our survivor pick. We built a nice sleeper lineup. Go join us on sleeper.com, Patriot Squad Radio. I'll make it my pinned tweet so all the cool kids can find it. What else do we want to discuss? There's the Rams in San Francisco and the Packers in New England. Those are the only two we haven't really discussed at some length. I thought McVay owned Shanahan, but you guys told me it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be an interesting
especially
game.
in San Francisco.
A lot of picks on the Rams, but this is interesting. 67% of the bets are on the Rams, but 50% of the money is on the 49ers.
The sharps and the big money love taking 49ers in this spot. I can't do it though because of Trent Williams being out. We saw how
that's so huge.
Yeah, we saw how stagnant that offense looked last week with them. I know they have a whole week to prepare, but San Francisco was already replacing a bunch of linemen this year, and he was kind of the anchor. The most important spot, of course, and he was the anchor, and now your anchor's gone.
Yep. Yeah. And last week I was offered, there were a couple other players involved, but essentially it was going to be Jeff Wilson for Alvin Kamara. And I thought about it because Kamara is, I think of qualifying running backs who have 10 or more carries, Kamara is 59th out of 59. But Jeff Wilson Jr., very solid, but Trent Williams is gone. So what does that mean for him? Is he just a guy with Trent Williams gone? Because Trent Williams is arguably the best tackle in the league.
We've got heavy steps. We will get to that, but we've got some breaking news for our contest. Your guys' favorite pick, Arizona -1, is now Arizona Pick'em.
Ooh.
Do we get nervous because some money's coming in on the Panthers now?
Do we still get the -1? Are we locked in there?
No, I changed it to Pick'em because we can. That's why I always check these, because if the line moves, we can take the better play.
I was hoping, I thought it would go to +1 overnight.
Yeah, but
once they said McCaffrey's going to play.
Do you want to take it out, Will? Is that what you're doing? Are you trying to talk us out of it?
No, I'm just throwing it out.
Heavy Steps is going to lose his mind if you pull Arizona.
I know. You want a 3-leg teaser, Heavy Steps? Let me give you one. So, okay, we'll leave Arizona Pick'em. I just want to throw that out there, got to keep an eye on those line movements, especially when it's the contest. 3-leg teaser. My favorite 3-leg teaser of the day. And you know how I like to take a couple and then tie it into something else where we can just keep building on it. I think you gotta take Baltimore, tease them up to +9. I love that. Absolutely love that.
Okay.
So we're going to tease Baltimore up to +9. I think usually I don't do this, but I would tease Cleveland to +5. I don't think there's a way that this game gets out of hand, even if Cleveland loses. Look, it just sounds like the Falcons, even if they had a lead, they would just blow it, right?
Yep.
So I would take those two, and if I was tying it into the afternoon games, probably my favorite would be taking. I mean, it's not a homer, but you're getting New England at plus 15.5. I mean, it ain't gonna get. Actually, no, not that. I would go over in that game. Go over 34 because I think New England is gonna actually get over its projected. So I would go over 34 in that one. And if you don't want to tie it into that, if you don't want to do totals or anything, the Sunday night game, take Kansas City plus 7 or over. Actually, I like
7.5 on offshores.
Yeah, and I actually like instead of that over 40. How often have? I mean, at the beginning of the year, if you told me the Tampa Bay Kansas City was going to be 46, it's like, no, this should be set at 51.5, 52, right?
Yep.
So so I would go maybe over 40 in that game. But
you can get a wow, I haven't seen this option. You can get a 10-point teaser for just minus 120 and get Ravens plus 13, Browns plus 9 over 36. But
somebody
that's not
just scored a
thing.
Touchdown. What?
As long as it wasn't CJ Ham, I'll be happy because that's another one I looked at and didn't.
Dalvin Cook.
Oh yeah, chalk first touchdown. Still,
is that Cook?
Every time a chalk first touchdown hits,
it's what's his name? The other.
Madison.
Madison, yes.
Yes. Boy, they all went to single digits in the backfield, huh? That's interesting. Yeah, plus 150. You get Ravens plus 9, Browns plus 5, over 40.
Yeah.
In the Tampa, Kansas City game.
Mm-hmm. How's that not?
I got a 4-team round robin money line parlay going with Tennessee, Buffalo, Cleveland, and Arizona.
All right.
4 3-team parlays. I'm starting to dip my toe into the round robins. For just $10, I think I can win like 150 if they all come home. But the nice thing about round robins over parlays, I'm learning, is if 3 out of 4 hit, you still get paid a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Because nothing worse than having a 5-leg parlay and you hit 4 out of 5, which is classic me.
Oh, look at Heavy Steps talking about not a homer.
Yep.
He always wants to bring that in, but when I was against Tampa Bay, no one gives me credit for being against Tampa Bay this week.
That's true. He was.
Secretly, it's a reverse psychology. I'm going to be against them so they win.
Is there any other business we need to attend to, or should we leave the people to go make their breakfasts and stuff? I think we've discussed the games. We've gone over the weather. Weather not as severe as I thought it was going to be.
I find it convenient. You want to wrap up right as the Red Rifle's about to get his first snap.
Yeah.
Watch it a little bit here. Let's see if Will's right.
If we provide commentary, I think that's when the NFL is going to step on our throat.
Oh, is that it?
I think that falls under.
It's just got to be delayed. That's all.
Any broadcast recreations or something is blah 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 something by the league.
That sounds very
the thing they say after the games.
Right, they're supposed to say it before, not after.
Yep. Did you say you picked New Orleans?
Yeah.
Why?
I was just curious if you actually had them on like your private betting.
Oh yeah, I did. That was earlier because I bet them earlier. I bet them on Tuesday before all this stuff broke.
Nice.
Yeah. So no cash out options, so I just got to ride with the Red Rifle.
Will's fading himself. That's it. Sometimes you got to do that around week 4 or 5. You got to figure it out. The books are getting smarter every week.
Dude, the books this week, I was trying to talk with, or I was talking about
this week.
No, not even that. What was it? What game was it that I was looking at? Well, let's just look at the Thursday night football game. It's like before, it played out. Let's act like we're before the game. You got the 3-0 Dolphins. They're hotter than ever. Everyone's going to be on them. You got Cincinnati that everyone used to love, but now they've started off terrible. Burrow's getting hit left and right. Miami's defense is actually getting pressure on the quarterback, so it should be another long night for Burrow. And yet the books make Burrow a 3.5-point favorite at home. And I'm like, that is so sharp because if a fan was doing it, they would make Miami a 3-point favorite on the
Yep.
road. I mean,
even on the road. Yeah.
And then when the fans kept coming in and piling money on the Dolphins, they didn't budge the line at all. And I'm like, well, they feel confident in this pick. They've seen this rodeo before.
Oh, dude, you're good, Will. Saints got alternate uniforms on. They're winning this game.
Yeah.
And you know what? That Madison touchdown is a perfect example of why fantasy football is the worst. Because there are so many people who picked up Madison this week with all the news about Dalvin Cook's shoulder, but then he practiced in full on Thursday, and they said he was going to play, so they all benched Madison, and then what happens? Alexander Madison, immediate touchdown. I mean, that shit is more luck than we care to admit. When you win, it's all skill. When you lose, oh, this shit's all luck.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. Dump pass for the first pass out there. I love it. Building confidence.
Yep. Heating up. We got the guide up.
It's like in basketball. You just got to see it. You got to see it go in. You just got to see that first completion. Now he's in the zone. God, he looks good.
Yep. He just had to see the ball go through the hoop. That's all.
Will, the amount of homerness coming out of this microphone.
It's still weird not seeing Sean Payton on the sideline over there.
Yes. You guys think he comes back next year?
Yep.
Yeah.
He can't wait. He's been dropping all those little breadcrumb hints about, I'd come back to the right situation. Like, you need to build me a ready-made Super Bowl team, and then I'll come in and drive it the last mile across the finish line, Paul Revere style.
He goes.
Yeah, he becomes the Paul Revere of whatever franchise that is. Who was the guy who rode most of the ride? Nobody knows. I don't remember. I made it a point to learn the guy's name. Didn't Paul Revere just ride like the last leg of that thing? Yeah, he's a real front runner, that guy.
I respect it.
One of my favorite memes is that picture of Paul Revere outside of a guy's window. The British are coming, unlike your wife. What the hell? Well, don't fucking wake people up, Paul.
They get it? I'm like,
Ingram's still doing it. Is he on the PEDs again? Because, boy, he was awesome all of a sudden again, and then they busted him. I believe he was over in London. Yes, he was. He got busted after they came back from London. That was so I hope he's.
Where do you think Peyton goes? Where do you think Peyton goes?
I think he wants to go to Miami. I think he'll definitely, or he wants to go to Dallas. I think he'll go to either of those.
I don't think he goes to Miami, but Dallas could be a possibility.
I think if Josh McDaniel really fucks it up and gets fired, he'd probably love to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know. He'll be in high demand for sure. This will be like when Gruden was hot there for a minute when he was doing Sunday Night Football and everybody thought he was still a genius. Oh, sure. Now we get Adam Troutman involved.
Mm-hmm. I still think he takes we see him and Tom in San Francisco.
That would be quite a combination.
If Shanahan doesn't have a decent year this year.
Yeah, I mean, his brand name has really carried him. He's not as good as you think. Justin Herbert, another guy who you think is better than he is. He's just 13-18 career. I believe Justin Herbert is under 500.
Especially, I mean, if Tom gets divorced, what does he got to lose? Why does he want to retire after then?
Man, could you imagine midlife crisis? Fuck it all, Tom out there playing football, rolling up to the facility in a Corvette at 117 miles an hour.
Not even
doing
wearing
one of those Tokyo drift parks.
Yeah.
The Saints don't want to be punting very much.
Can you imagine Tom just walking into the facility, cigarette just hanging down from his lip? Says, "Fucking give me all the strawberries."
His skinny, shrunken face. He's weird to look at now.
Yeah. Ripping heaters at halftime, just going full old school quarterback. I would love it. Yep. Put on the black hat, Tom.
I can't believe they slow down the rifle there. It's all right. It's early. It's just getting warmed up.
Early. It just jammed.
You can't believe that, Will. That's something that you can't imagine.
Hey, you guys
slowed down the red rifle.
You guys are talking about first down. I mean, come on. Let's be honest.
Yep.
All right. This has been fun.
Yeah,
go.
time to go do stuff. I got a lot of wagers to put in, fantasy lineups to enter. Hit us up on Twitter at Patriots Pod. I'm at PSR Host Guy. Chris is at PSR Producer. Angela's at Angela Latida. I don't know how to spell it, but I know it has 2 H's on the end. You will be able to find it if you go to patriotsportsnow.com, though, the greatest site in all the world. It has our blogs, all of our podcasts, probably this live stream. It's got all the stuff. So go there. Thank you for listening. Leave us reviews, all that stuff. Be good to each other. And Chris, kick the outro music.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriots Sports Now, and on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube at Patriots Sports. Take care, and we'll see you next time.